Well, let's talk about that piece of the entrepreneurial approach. Taking your vision for this grand success that'll change the world, how do you coach people on how to then extract from that, subdivide that, decompose that into the hypotheses to test?
It's a skill that has to be learned over time. So the first thing is to have compassion on yourself as an entrepreneur, that this is going to take a while to get the hang of, because we believe so much in the vision, it's hard to really imagine making it small. And I usually tell people the rule of thumb is think about the smallest thing you could possibly build, and then cut it in half again, and think about launching that. Because the great thing about being an obscure entrepreneur, no one knows who you are, is there's no penalty for launching too soon. As long as you're not doing press releases and trying to get big fast, if you just put the product in front of customers and they don't like it, and they don't like it in the way that you don't like it, that's actually great news. That means you're on the right track. You can apologize to them that it's not ready, and you'll have customers to go back to. But the truth is, in almost every time I've launched a first version of a product, it's not that people tried it and didn't like it, it's that they didn't even care enough to try it. And so it didn't matter how many features it had and how elaborate it was. So the process of breaking down a vision into a series of hypotheses is about recognizing that our brilliant business plan, with all the full financials and predictions about the future, that's nothing more than a series of assumptions. Statements about how the world works that can be tested. And so what we want to do is kind of take each of those inputs out of that spreadsheet, like the box that says 10% of customers will sign up for the free trial, and say, is there a way we could test just that one number right now? If we're planning, once the product is done, to sell it online, well, could we offer it for pre-order online today, even though we don't have it? And then if we should be so lucky as to have to apologize to those people who try to buy that it's not available, well, that would help us figure out what is that sign-up rate for the trial right now. And even if we get bad news, much better to have bad news that's true than the good news that we made up and put on our business plan.
So you have a name for it, leap of faith assumptions.
Yeah.
How do you know which are the leap of faith assumptions and which to test first?
It's a concept that is explored in a book called Getting to Plan B. And leap of faith assumptions are those kind of key ideas upon which the whole business depends. And they tend to be the really basic things about, A, will customers find our product valuable? Will they be willing to pay for it? Will they be willing to use it and repeat use it as necessary? And will we be able to grow our business in some way? Can we get customers to refer other customers? Will that be advertising for us? Those tend to be the core things. And the way you know them technically is if you look at your brilliant Excel model, a spreadsheet of how all the different bits, if you take one of those inputs and change it to 0, if it makes all the other numbers go to 0, that's a pretty good indicator that it's a leap of faith assumption. The trick is, not all assumptions are created equal, and some of them are actually really unremarkable, that are just based on standard industry practice. So a classic thing is a business like Facebook that plans to make its money through advertising. You don't have to ask, if I had the time and attention of 100 million people, could I resell that attention to advertisers? That's pretty well understood. The far riskier thing is, will there be a way for me to get all that attention for free through viral growth? So it's a matter of kind of thinking about which assumptions, do we have pretty good proxies for already? Is it pretty much understood how they work? And which of them truly is a change in customer behavior from the status quo?